every week, and football as well. It's on YouTube. If you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video. It is Pro Wrestling Weekly. The Avengers are assembled here. We got Keith. How are we?
Good. Looking forward to the show.
Emma, how's things?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to tonight. Lots to talk about.
Dave joined us as well, but not quite from Edinburgh. Dave, how are we?
I'm glad with the time zone we used this time, so happy days.
Sean Max back on as well. The brown envelope arrived, so he got preference. How are we, Sean?
Pay me my rate next time. Don't be an issue. For a little bit anyway. I have to dash off at half, but I will turn hopefully very quickly. So
you will. We'll be looking for an update on that meeting. We'll be looking for the minutes and all of it. And also join us, generally my co-host, but the wing of this podcast as well, Mr. TikTok machine himself. Brian, how are we?
In my 15th phone.
At least they tune in. At least they tune in. Right, where do we begin tonight? We've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be taking a look at Raw. We're going to be taking a quick look at No Mercy, especially that main event. We're going to be talking about the road to Crown Jewel. We've got a good section on. We've asked most people on the panel over, and some of them don't. Emma's going to have a good topic here. We want to talk about some of the disrespect being shown online, especially personal disrespect, as opposed to, critiquing the art of pro wrestling. We're going to be talking about price gouging again. Saturday night's main event. Good Lord. We will be talking about that. We'll be talking about Netflix potentially taking over Warner Brothers and what would this mean for the landscape of wrestling, obviously with AEW involved there as well. We're going to be talking about AJ Styles, talking about his potential retirement next year as well. What a 6 or 7 months that might be, losing John Cena and changing of the name on the NXT TNA stroke invasion, stroke summit, stroke showdown, stroke whatever it is. Get your thoughts on that. We're going to be getting Keith raised a couple of issues last week, and it'll probably tie in with Emma's as well. We're going to be talking about Undertaker's podcast. And we're also going to be talking about the Hall of Fame. Keith asked us to take a look at that as well. What's our feelings on the Hall of Fame? How do we feel about it? And we're going to be asking you in the chat tonight, who pick one that you want to go into the Hall of Fame at the moment that hasn't entered already. We know Steph is going into 2026. We're going to try and fill out the 2026 Hall of Fame tonight in the chat. Each of you on the panel as well. Have a think about a name who you would like to see going in next, and potentially one. But it should be obvious normally if you pick them. Baz is in the chat there. Big up, Baz. Hope you're good. He was in with me today. We had the crack today, that's for sure. We had a good laugh today. Right, so we'll kick it off. Let's kick it off with Raw first of all. Who wants to take it? Brent, kick us off. Raw.
One of the best things about Raw was the Intercontinental Championship match with Dominic and Rusev. That tribute to Eddie Guerrero was outstanding. Yeah. Brilliantly done. And it got me thinking whilst I was watching the match, because I had said, with Femi should get Cena's last match, but I'm actually, do you know what? Maybe Dom can get Cena's last match. And then somebody said Joe Hendry today, and I couldn't agree with that as well. But that's a different thing for a different day. I think the recorded promo for Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, we've said it once, we'll say it, and I'll say it again, nobody does it better than WWE. And that was only part one. I can't wait for part two. AJ Styles, Dragon Lee. I say it all the time. Dragon Lee is an absolute dream. AJ Styles got a bit of a promo beforehand, and I love when he said, "I get to do something I love to do, kick John Cena's ass," which is a throwback to their feud. And I suppose the big thing that everyone's talking about is the return of Roman Reigns. I don't necessarily have an issue with the return of Roman Reigns, but he's returned 3 times this year, and the narrative seems to be the same over and over and over again. The narrative seems to be show up, give somebody a hiding, win at a PLE or lose, get a hiding, disappear and show up again. Now, last time he had to Street Fighter, I'm hoping for the J narrative, particularly for the J narrative that he stays on. But yeah, look, from start to finish, I thought this was a solid episode of Raw. I like some of the. I liked what the Kabuki Warriors EO Sky did. I thought that was very well done. So yeah, look, all around for me, and also as well, a little bit of a highlight was LA Knight's promo as well to Kofi Kingston. It was just a small little bit, and he's like, "Oh, you want me to leave? You want me to leave? That's not going to happen." And it was and ladies, this was solid, absolute solid. Really enjoyed it. What say you?
Keith?
I couldn't get away when EO Sky at the backstage. You kind of look like Avatar, to be quite honest with you, all the fucking mist in her face and everything else. Just remind me of Avatar in the movie. But look, I'm interested to see how far they're going to go with Asuka and EO Sky. I thought they would have maybe have had a match maybe for Crown Jewel, but it looks like they're probably going to extend it out to Survivor Series, which I didn't realize when I was talking to Dave. That's see what happens there. The Cody and Seth Rollins promo was actually very good. It's actually like Seth Rollins looks like he's fixated on wanting to win and beat Cody, and he had that little in the gorilla position as well. He was kind of fixated on that. To see him back, but I'm kind of tired of this, coming back and then going and coming back and going. I kind of just hope he stays for a bit because it's kind of jarring, but it is great to see him back. But overall, like I thought it was a solid show. I really enjoyed the Dominic Mysterio and Rusev. I hope they have another match again.
Emma, Asuka Jerry, the ultimate heel now.
Tremendous.
I love her as like a heel. I love this little turn she's having, and for Rhea to be involved as well, obviously because Rhea and EO have always had this kind of connection thing. I'm really excited for this match. But Dominic Mysterio and Rusev, their match definitely stood out for me for the whole night. Like Dominic Mysterio, I think he's going to be one of the main guys in years to come, definitely. And he almost already is in my eyes. But Roman Reigns, like, we're so used to him returning his narrative. It's the right time to have Roman stick there and build up on that then. To see what's going to happen with Survivor Series coming in and whatever. Yeah, it's good to see that. Raquel Rodriguez defeating Bayley. I love her. I'm such a huge Bayley fan, but to see Raquel Rodriguez kind of, defeating her, and I just need her to get a push because I love Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know how I feel about Los Americanos though. I don't know. It was just
the minute I seen it, Emma, I thought of Gremlins.
Yeah.
They're just pouring water on El Grande Americano, and he's just popping out all these other luchas.
That's the second 80s movie reference you've made today with your rock.
I'm on fire today. I'm on fire today.
Phenomenal work, great work.
But yeah, no, it's mad, and I think the one thing about the luchas as well, I mean, you might agree with this as well. They didn't look Mexican.
No, exactly. But I remember my friend had went to WrestleMania, just the one that just passed. Yeah. And when El Grande Americano came out, he said that he was sitting by this like Mexican family, and everywhere else was like Americans or Europeans or whatever, and they were just not impressed with this whole El Grande Americano thing. No. So it's interesting to see, but I'm just not a fan of it anymore, to be honest. Not at all.
Yeah, the two boys just looked a bit weird as well. It's like they had taken two potential LFG people and thrown masks on them, and they hadn't done a thing at all. Like, it was just so loose and everything.
But Dragon Lee always, always delivers.
He carries himself as a real professional as well, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm,
you can tell he's very professional about his art, and I tell you, it's gonna be a wet eye today. AJ Styles leaves. That's first. Dave.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'll throw in another reference. It was like Honey, I Shrunk the Luchas. Like,
Yeah.
The Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins promo was one of my favourite bits of Raw because I love how they convey the emotion between the two of them. You know what I mean? Even just standing at the ring, the facial expressions were at promo. And I have to agree with the Roman Reigns thing. You know, either keep him around or just tell him to leave. You know what I mean? It's at that point now where you're like, whether here you coming or you going. It was like when Lesnar was champion. You know, he didn't have a champion on Raw for 6 months or whatever it was. Just wasn't ideal. The women's match really enjoyed Io and Rhea. The whole Poison Mist thing, fantastic. Intercontinental. I mean, look, we all know Dominic Mysterio is going to be a top, like, you know, he is a top star at the minute. He's only going one way, and that's up. Especially against Rusev. I thought Rusev was going to come out here on top. I'm not going to lie, but you know, the whole Eddie, you know, belt switch and stuff, and it was just he's had that push to the top before with Roman. I don't know whether they're going to do that push again now to the top. Maybe he'll face kind of Seth again. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. AJ Styles, you know, how long has he been part of the fabric of what we've been watching? Like, it's going to be a sad day, but I wonder if he'll finish it at Mania for WWE and then maybe do, you know, TNA's biggest one then after to finish his career completely. You know, do the double WrestleMania and then maybe Bound for Glory or something, where you could kind of end it in both companies rather than just doing it in one. And yeah, just sooner Chad Gable gets back and this gimmick ends, I'll be happy. Jesus Christ, I think the plan until he got injured. Now they're just dragging it out.
Big up, Daz. Good to see you, Paul. Thanks for joining us, as always. John Mack, thoughts on Raw?
I thought Raw was pretty good. I think it's set up nicely for Crown Jewel in Perth. I will just say, because we're just speaking about El Grande Americano, I've heard rumors that it's allegedly Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate that are
Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, yeah.
And if that's true, that is genuinely an atrocity and shameful that you have those two lads, and the best thing you can do is put him here. El Grande Americano now just feels so directions. I'm a newcomer and I've taken your spot. No, I'm here and you're not here.
He bought your seat.
Yeah.
Tiniest season. We're taking bids on these seats at the moment.
Dynamic pricing.
Yeah.
Big time.
He needs to hit the bricks and stay in his kitchen. Let me see. Yes,
back to that pot wash. Back to that pot wash.
Very sad to hear that AJ is retiring next year. It means that we can enjoy him for the time we have him, and I don't know. I just hope they'll give him a better farewell tour than they did for the guy who's facing a current Jewel.
I don't know whether weekly AJ Styles farewell T-shirts would work the same as John Cena though. That's the only thing.
It's not the merch. It's everything else that happened. Raquel and Bailey was good. I'll be honest, I'm not totally into this new Bailey Jekyll and Hyde character. It's just not working out for me. I thought the best thing of the show was the Cody and Seth confrontation. You know, we said it before, WWE are the best in the world when it comes to video production and all that stuff. And it actually got me excited for a match. It's literally for a ring that you'll never see. Maybe once a year, twice.
And a belt that they'll never wear.
Oh, belt as well. God, man, they're really stacking this match. I can't believe it.
Brutal looking belt as well. Epoxy.
Oh, it's disgusting.
You're all just jealous.
Yeah.
You're all jealous.
But no,
El Epoxy Champiano.
that would be a better gimmick. And like Roman Reigns, when he returns the first time, it's a shock. It's electrifying. And we're on I think return 20 at this point. It doesn't hold up. And the cycle's there. PLE has a PLE match, gets attacked in that match or after by the Bronsons, pisses off for 3 months, returns. That's your circle, and it keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. I would like some progression here, but I did like the camera work here because Jimmy's big fear is that Jay is going to become Roman when Roman was the tribal chief, when he was really a dictator. And him, Roman and Jay embracing while Jimmy stood in the middle, looking confused and looking concerned, was a really, really nice touch. But overall, I thought it was a decent episode of Raw. I liked that it started at 12, sadly now, next week. It's back to 1 a.m.
Dallas or something, Texas next
No,
week,
but it means the start times go back to normal. But no, decent episode. Looking forward to Crown Jewel in Perth. Hopefully it's good, and hopefully Raw. I feel Raw's improved. I think the less we have of the division and the exact same ending with the exact same cycle of wrestlers involved, the less that we have in the main event of Raw, I think the better. So
have you realised Finn and JD haven't defended their titles in about 2 months?
Yeah,
Addressing the dress, but the interviewer kind of asked him about it anyway. So they're kind of throw that into a thing, I'd say.
The interaction work with Dominic is top notch at the moment.
I know
JD and from Finn Balor is awesome.
I have no interest in it though, because it seems that they've been teasing doing something for 4 months and they've done nothing. Like literally, not even no progression, no development, no, but literally them teasing. They're going to turn, someone costs something, and then they get together and apologize and make up and kiss. Legit, for 4 months, that's what it's been between Judgment Day. There's few in this company right now than Judgment Day. Sorry, lads. Yeah,
it's not a bad show. I think they should be demolished.
Yeah,
demolished.
They should go separate ways. Simple as. But it's like together with completely new different pieces. It's a different boat. The Judgment Day has been changed so many times. That was a stupid analogy. I can't believe I said that. But either way, the Judgment Day has been changed so many times. At this point, it's a dead horse.
They have shot it in the head.
It's done.
They have, but
Judgment
they
Day
keep
is
beating
done.
it with a baseball bat, hoping that some life will come back into it.
It's not. It's dead. But Niall, what you said, the work is phenomenal. It's brilliant. It's great work, but it shouldn't be done under Judgment Day. Just needs to go. That's it. I'm sick of being teased. Just go all the way.
Question I have for you is, and I don't know whether I'm right or wrong, or conspiracy, or tinfoil head, or whatever you want to call it. After the mess up on SmackDown in Tiffany's match, did anyone take into account the way they planned out the ending of the Dom Rusev match? Was it a kind of a little undercurrent kind of message kind of thing from the ref? I don't know.
I don't understand what your point. I think what happened in that match was a miscommunication.
Well, it wasn't just a miscommunication. We had the ref kicking out on 2. That's not
Nia was meant to kick out, and she's like, Nia's like, no, I'm just gonna lie here, you know.
No, but you're not fair, because I was first of all looking at Dom Rusev match, and I was thinking the thing he did, the Francese.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking, had they originally planned for the ref not to see it, and the ref turned around and seen it, and then what went into the corner? Because what went into the corner was kind of weird. I just thought so. It's just my thoughts on it.
I don't know. I don't think I think the ref was meant to see it get better. It actually did make it better.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just thinking maybe. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was decent. I've a lot of time, as I said, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, Cody, Seth. No one does better, as Brent said, when they put those things together. I have to say, a pet passion for me at the moment is seeing Kofi Kingston lose. there's just a different level of enjoyment when that happens. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. I like Don winning, but I'm intrigued to see where Rusev goes now, because I think he's developing nicely now that they've kind of taken him away from the banger after banger after banger kind of bait down kind of things and all that kind of stuff. And like I said at the top there when Emma was doing her piece, that Ask Yuri, I just thought that was amazing. I love when people go to the mist because it's so horrible and it's the most degrading thing you can do to someone. And it's so good as a heel worker. I mean, and
she's changed the colours twice now.
Yeah,
and different colours as well, which is quite cool.
Not only that, because sometimes, again, the women in there, sometimes they can struggle to really get that heel connection with the crowd. And that's instant heel connection with the crowd. Because the minute she comes out, people are going to go all over there and go, that is disgusting, you know. And I thought it was really, really cool. So that's kind of what I took for it. I thought it was good. Right, let's move on. That's Raw in the bag. Emma, let's talk about your section here. You sent us in a slide, and I think it's very, very important that we talk about these things and we tease it out. And of course, we love to be on the podcast here. We love to be critical of the art and the performance and all that kind of stuff. While trying not to take it to a personal level most of the time, as much as we can anyway. It should never go there anyway. So talk to us, Emma. You wanted to talk about this topic this week.
Yeah, so this week I think this topic is so relevant just because I feel like the minute I open Twitter, I just see every single critique of a woman wrestler. So first of all, we have, as we all know, Stephanie McMahon has been inducted into the 2026 Hall of Fame, which is, I think it's amazing. You know, the Attitude Era, she did so much. You know, she brought in the superstar instead of divas. She did work for Connor's Cure, you know, Connor the Crusher.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, on social media, it was faced with a lot of backlash. A lot. So I think one comment read that, oh, she's just Triple H's plaything. And another comment was like, there's wrestlers that pour their heart out, you know, why does she get it when she's using daddy's money to be in this company? Which I just think it is insane. And also, when you search up Stephanie McMahon Hall of Fame, the amount of Instagram posts that come up are of her physique, which is insane. It is completely degrading. And the fact that a woman cannot be celebrated for being inducted into the Hall of Fame, I just think it's sickening how people can come online and critique her so much like that. Like, if this was Shane, I think, or any, you know, if Shane McMahon, you know, got inducted into the Hall of Fame, people wouldn't be posting his body and critiquing him and being like, he's using daddy's money. They would focus on his skill. We've all talked on the podcast about how he deserves it because he put, you know, he would come in here and jump off things just for the love of the game. But again, half the comments about Stephanie being inducted are not about that. Another thing we've all seen on social media is Michelle McCool. Her Instagram, she had posted, "This is why I don't let my daughter have social media." Her daughter's 13 years old. And the comments that she received were insane. This woman was the first Divas champion. She was the first to simultaneously hold 2 belts within the women's division. And in 2010, she was named Best Female Wrestler by Wrestling Illustrated. I can't really remember now. And the fact that still she has a podcast with obviously her husband, but it's the fact that she has done so much, you know, but she is still critiqued on everything from her looks to her marriage. Even, you know, she's very religious. People still call out her bluff on being so religious. And it is insane. Imagine, you know, she has done so much within the women's division. And yet, years later, she's still faced being critiqued constantly on social media. And it's not just about being a wrestler. It's about how plastic she looks, how fake she looks, how her marriage done. And then we have the SmackDown, you know, the unfortunate mistake between Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, Tiffany, and then Daphne LaShawn, the referee. And like, we can all, you know what, I'm going to sit here and critique it as well. Because these things happen. If it was any other match, we'd all sit here and talk about it. But when you go on Twitter there's comments like Nia Jax should lose weight so she can actually perform in a match. There's comments on Jade Cargill, there's comments on Daphne LaShawn, and they are constantly tearing them down instead of sitting here and, being like, okay, this is, what could have happened, what was supposed to happen. But when you open Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, they are constantly critiquing, their bodies, how they looked, how they can perform. They're calling Nia Jax lazy. They're calling the referee slow. And no wrestler should be subjected to that kind of, abuse on social media just because of a mistake that happened. And it was very unfortunate, of course. And yeah, of course, we're going to sit here and critique it. But the fact that people feel like they can go on social media and be so negative about how these women look, how they perform, when they're the ones showing up to training, they put their all into the wrestling, but they never get anything back. And then you make a mistake, you'll hear about it all over social media. I'm sure we've all seen Clash in Paris when Nikki Bella, Becky wasn't there for Nikki Bella to land her kick, which, you know what? That happens. But again, people, she shouldn't be here anymore. And, we will sit here and critique it. We'll be like, let's have a joke about it. But again, she never heard the end of it, even for months on end. And I just don't think it's fair. As well as that, there was a comment that someone left about AJ Lee returning. And of course, the woman has been out of the ring for 10 years, hasn't been on a live match. And the one comment that stuck with me was someone said, she's only back because she's married to CM Punk. She was never good. It's because of her marriage. And again, this kind of ties in, if you make a mistake, they're going to hear about it. You're going to be dragged through social media no matter what you do. If you return after 10 years, after facing mental health issues, being so advocate and open about it, you're still going to get backlash. You're still just going to be, she's here because she's married to CM Punk. And then, again, constant judgment of appearances. I just think it's horrible. People have called Nikki Bella plastic. They've called Michelle McCool plastic. Nia Jax needs to lose weight. Someone said Alexa Bliss is too skinny to be a wrestler. It's horrible. You open Twitter, and as someone who's starting a wrestling, my own journey, I just think that seeing everything on social media, it needs to be talked about, because you can't have more superstars come in and constantly face this abuse. I like to make TikToks because it's funny, and I still get hate comments. I have mainly males commenting, "What do you know about WWE? How would you even know this?" That's all I get on some of the comments, to the fact that I have to delete them. Again, it's not as harsh as that, but again, I just think this definitely needs to be talked about, really. Because after this whole week, from Michelle McCool to the match that was botched to just Nia Jax completely out of hand. But yeah.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned it over the last number of weeks. There's just been this kind of wave. And, I often say in this podcast as well, what people forget is, like, the female and the women's representation in pro wrestling is so important to us. And at times, greatly outshines the men's divisions and stuff like that. And, you only have to look at NXT. And I often view NXT as being a women's wrestling show where they take male wrestlers on as guests nearly at times, because it's so good and stuff like that. And I think they're great points that you raise. I think unfortunately we live in a world where we just can't rid of absolute downtrodden assholes who just have nothing better to do in their home's basement, lying on the couch, but try and upset people. And I think that's just a fact of something that we're going to have to deal with. And I think when you deal with these people, I think the best way to deal with them is to just don't give them any airtime at all. Don't react to their comments. Just ignore it if you want to go down the road of banning or whatever you want to do. But these guys, you ban them and they just come back with another profile and another profile. And they're just out to upset people. And they revel in that kind of situation and stuff like that. Like I said, we constantly, if you look at the start of our show here on Raw, We've, critiqued a number of things on it already. We critique Roman Reigns coming back, going. We critique plenty of stuff on it. And I just think it's just pro wrestling is kind of that kind of divisive, I should say, thing as well, because if fans don't get what they want, they react in a certain way. And we spoke about it last week when we were talking about WrestlePalooza. The amount of people online that just crapped on Drew and Cody because Drew didn't win. So sometimes you're dealing with a fan base out there at times that are kind of self-serving and kind of spoiled brats to a point. And they don't just see the thing that we love for the art that it is and see by it. You know what I mean? Like the same people will tell you that Nia Jax needs to lose weight, and you ask them who's their favorite wrestler, and they go, "Sure, I've always loved Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream." And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, am I missing something here? Or what's the story like? So Nia Jax needs to lose weight, but Dusty Rhodes is one of your favorite wrestlers. Hang on, come on. And I'm a huge Dusty Rhodes fan. But it just, and then you look and then you think, right, okay, so you're looking at Nia Jax, you think she needs to lose weight. Now you have a problem with Jay Cargill, who's an absolute specimen. And now you have a problem with Alexa Bliss, who's too small. You have a problem with someone else and someone else and someone else. And it's just like, what are we doing here? We're trying to create the most perfect AI female wrestler? Or what's going on here? What's going on in your mind here? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. And the thing that they miss and fail is, and Emma, you said it best, you're starting out on your wrestling journey. So first time you're getting a feel of kind of want to climb through the ropes and have a match. And then the effort that it takes to climb through the ropes and have a match at what is the Super Bowl of sports entertainment, WWE, and that pathway through the indie scene into LFG or NXT, and how you have to perform there to even get anywhere near Raw or SmackDown, and then you're brought up onto that. And like we said it a number of times on this podcast. I can't imagine what it's like walking out onto. I don't know how anyone does it. It's amazing, like, and 9 times out of 10, the guys who you'll find a lot of the guys or whatever it is who critique Nia Jax are probably bigger than her. You know what I mean? So
they don't even have their Niall, these lads don't even have their authentic profile pictures up.
Yeah,
these guys typically, and like you said, most of the majority of them, I can only assume are male, but they have. They always have a profile picture, like even that Plastic Man kind of there has an animated one.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of people that wouldn't say boot to you in public. And
Keyboard warriors, please.
But for anybody to comment on anything on any platform, you should have to provide your passport, become compliant, and your profile picture should be shown. Without that, nil. You don't get the privilege, because they're pricks, basically pricks.
They are, because like the minute I was just doing my research, so I was just searching up, different female wrestlers. So I searched up my favorite, Lyra Valkyria. The first thing that comes up is a zoomed in picture of her body saying, would she cheat on her fiance? Whoever made that post is sick in the head. The fact that there's so many female wrestlers and they're zooming in, they're posting it. Imagine me getting Roman Reigns, zooming in on him and being like, lads, he's deadly. Like, how could you do that? It angers me so much just to see that.
Sometimes I often wonder even where they get the goddamn time for this thing. You know what I mean? Like how do you get up in the morning time and think that's the thing to do? I see people posting as well. Was it after Raw the other night? People posting, complaining about Lyra's dress sense and the mini skirt with the shorts and everything else. And I was thinking, what the fuck?
Probably last.
Where you face like it's
boxy jeans, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be Gok one, and it's ridiculous, and that's why I think they should show themselves if they're going to make the comments. It's horrendous, and it's enraging as well.
For sure, I posted about me coming on the podcast. Like I posted on TikTok because I enjoy this. I like making my TikToks. I've made friends through it. I've had 3 messages being, "That's cringy. Take that down." Why are you even on that podcast anyway?
Are they fans? People saying that?
The people that follow me and they're like, "Do you not think that's cringe?"
I'm gonna need usernames and pictures.
Oh yeah, I'll put it up.
Look, I've
See the
listened.
TikTok machine there.
I've listened to everything Emma said, and I've looked at all her points, and you know, I probably thought about this too deeply. But if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. You look at the women in the 80s and the 70s, and how revered they were in the ring, and how good they were in the ring, and you had Glow, and you had all this, you know, women's championships coming out everywhere. Then you get to the 90s where trash and you know, reality TV were king, and then it just devolved into, you know, you had Sable and Playboy was the big thing, and women were objectified.
Trish barking like a dog.
Trish barking like a dog, you know, in the ring, and
I mean,
we've come so far away from that now, back to where it's absolutely, you know, women's wrestling's back to what it was before all of that shit. But the problem is, there's a percentage of the male population in this world who still lives in that time where women are just objects to them. All these little incels and all these little, you know, pathetic losers who want to do all these comments and just troll for the fun of it. These are the type of people who don't have anything better in their lives. Their lives are miserable, but they get the little enjoyment about making other people feel miserable as well. That's all these people are. But they're stuck in this idea that women have to be objectified.
But what people are forgetting,
you know, that's in their head.
That Tiffy match before that, it was actually a great match before that incident happened. That's what people are forgetting. Like,
yeah,
do you know?
Look,
and
like what I said a few minutes ago.
Like shit like that happens
It's
in
like what I
wrestling.
said a
Like,
few
it's not
minutes ago.
perfect by any means, do you know?
Yeah, if somebody messes up or a decision goes against what we wanted, people will shit all over it. And Niall said it a few minutes ago about the Cody and Ding match. Look, there's a certain fan base. Niall mentioned it in a video where you were talking about Liverpool and their fan base and being like other fan bases, etc., becoming like other fan bases, and the specific bases of fans that are just let them go in a little cesspool. Hopefully, they all find each other one day, can dance around the rainbow. But until then, they can get fucked. Sorry for cursing.
real.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, Emma, I'm not Nia Jax's biggest fan by any means. Like, no, I've never body shamed or fat shamed or anything like that. I would never do anything like that about anyone, right? My only problem with Nia Jax is her record of injuring wrestlers, and you know, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Kyrie Sane, Zelina Vega, and Jade Cargill, the ones that we know of. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I've no problem with Nia Jax. I just think having that amount of injuries against wrestlers who are on the same level as you, and what she did to Jade's eye, like, it doesn't keep happening.
Dave,
you know, it just.
Dave, do you rate Sasha Banks? Because she has a similar record in injuring people.
I don't rate her at all.
No, but I don't. But the point, like, I love Nia Jax. I adore Nia Jax. I think she's brilliant. I think what she's done over the last 2 years is nothing short of sensational since she's returned. And I think she's made a couple of mistakes. So has other wrestlers made a couple of mistakes. Mr. Kennedy comes to mind. And what do we say about Mr. Kennedy? It's an awful shame they didn't keep him on and push him. We don't say he injured everybody, and that's not knocking what you just said, Dave. It's just the point of view and how we view things based on who they are. You know what I mean? And obviously my bias for Nia Jax.
And see, this is like the great way of critiquing a wrestler. You know, like, this is such a good example. You know, like, I'm not a fan, but this amount of injuries. That is the way that they should be critiqued. It's a good example, like, you know.
And my only point was that, you know, it's if it happens once, fine, two times, fine. It's only because it's been consistent over time that, you know, you're looking at it going, right, what can we do to limit this? It's not so much that it's happening all the time where she deserves to be sacked or anything like that. It's more, what can she do now to stop that from happening?
Do you think she should just have a limited time in the ring then because of these until she brushes it up?
No, they all have the performance center. They all go to the gym. They're all on the road, and
I think we can all agree though that it is a problem, Emma, and I think it does need to be talked about a little bit more. And people need to be held accountable for it, and that's all there is to it. And I think, look, all wrestlers, like including us, you said it yourself. People contacted you and said, "What are you doing? That podcast is a bit cringy." You know what I mean? We put ourselves out there. We're going to be critiqued, all that stuff. And look, let them. I mean, at the end of the day, they're trolls. That's what they do. Except that they're going to sit down and say, well, do you know what? Because I've had people tell me, like, objectively, Brian, you talk too much on the podcast. You know what I mean? And they're right. I'm doing it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, look, we do the
100%.
The only thing I'd ever say to people and all this stuff and all, never get taken in by it and stuff like that. Look, I've had people come into the shop who I have bent over backwards to make sure they get stuff on time for birthdays or Christmas or whatever it is, only for to find out they'd give you a 1-star rating on Trustpilot and stuff like that. So, do you know what? I gave up after a while trying to please the masses, and what I did, now I please myself and I stay happy, and that's it. And it's
That's all you need to do.
There's no point.
Yeah.
Big up, Anto. Thanks for joining us.
Jesus.
And
Niall, keep it PG, yeah? Keep it PG.
how are you, lads?
Please yourself, Jesus.
Very good.
And
Very
I think,
good.
yeah. Niall, any chance Ron t-shirts? Ron shorts. Do we have Ron? Do you have Ron shorts?
I don't have them in stock, but Anto, I can certainly get you. I got Bren one. Bren has his one.
Yes,
Bren
I
has his
do.
one.
I
it's
have
not
my
a
one.
problem.
I proudly wear it to work like the man.
Brand, did you get your
that I am.
AJ Lee t-shirt yet?
I can exclusively reveal, coming this Friday, exclusively in Wrestling Mania, third floor Stevens Green. Not only are they going to have the AJ Lee t-shirt, they're going to have a John Cena t-shirt and much, much more, including Brock Lesnar t-shirt. Don't mention the war. But there's going to be a wide selections of t-shirts only in WrestleMania, third floor Stevens Green, next to Asha. Get in, get a t-shirt. Anto, you want that t-shirt? Niall is your Wrestling Mania is your man. Anyway, any chance of that?
Daniel, not a problem at all. Any chance of a cross? Yeah. See what you did there now. Yeah. This guy. This guy now thinks he's funny. This guy, Daniel Jones.
I believe all your Wyatt 6 t-shirts sold out, though, Niall. I bought the last one. I believe they're sold out.
You probably bought all of them, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that the only one?
I know where you live, Keith.
They've another 6 out now, so you're playing catch up again. And this time you get the opportunity to really show your love for the Wyatt 6, because now they all have their own t-shirts.
Listen,
So
John
Ben,
Cena
I will be expecting to chat to you on Monday about that. Good man.
John Cena has me smashed.
Yeah, folks, if you're looking for any t-shirts in particular, just hit me up on Instagram. We'll sort you out. We can get you on you need. There's a massive delivery downstairs, about 150 t-shirts. And
can I just say one thing? I want Bren's opinion on this.
Sorry, only one thing.
Well, yeah, because Bubba Ray. Do you remember what Bubba Ray is talking about?
What you have to do? Now you're going to upset him now, look.
Because I want to find out, that's why.
Well, everybody, this was Keith's last podcast. Please let him know that you know he's not been very good. And
Just to let you know, Keith's seed
and his P45 is in the mail.
Keith's podcast seed has just gone up on eBay.ie, adverts.ie, and DoneDeal.ie. So
what you could say is Keith is about to get river barred. Keith, talk to me. What's going on?
Although I'd like to see everyone in the chat now congratulate Keith on his new background and his new look. He's entering the world of professional content creating. So very, very impressed. Nice to see Keith. Nice to see Keith in a different look.
It's nice while it lasted.
Yeah, absolutely. Brand, thoughts on the big announcement yesterday?
I know the very one he's talking about. They should be doing Dublin. It's Boys Own. They should be doing Dublin. They're doing the Emirates. I wouldn't rule out Croke Park just yet, Mark. And when it gets announced, myself, yourself, we'll all go and we'll sing Boys Own. Everybody in the podcast.
When you say we'll all go now, you mean yourself and himself?
Yeah, pretty much. You guys look like you have taste in music, same as you, Emma. So yeah, I'd probably just go to Boys Own on my own. Maybe Mark will come with me, but Westlife are about to announce a tour. But look, this isn't the boy band one. The boy band podcast is coming soon, but Westlife will be announcing a tour soon. Yes, I'm all shook up.
Once that boy band podcast kicks off, you'll all be tuning into Emma. You'll be going to Emma for therapy sessions at this stage with the H's will be getting and all. My God.
Can we switch what John wants to say there in the bottom left, please?
Who?
John.
I believe that.
John.
No, I believe that's Sean Cena. I believe that's Sean
Cena.
Oh yeah. Let's go to the farewell tour is well and truly in effect. Poor old John there, not looking the best at all. Not looking the best. Right, let's get in quickly. No Mercy. Who wants to take it?
Yes.
Can I just want to comment on one thing on No Mercy.
I know where
I'll
this
tell
is
you
going.
who. I don't think you do. I don't
think
you
I do.
Okay, so now I have to comment on two things, right? So, firstly, Zack Ryder can piss off. Overrated.
Oi,
Piss off,
oi,
Zack Ryder.
you,
No,
here, you.
Dave,
No, that's it. I'm coming into
Dave,
town tomorrow. I'll meet you after
Cardona,
work, pal.
Cardona. I walk around the corner from Niall. Cardona is one of the most desperate. He can piss off, right? And I mean that in a nice way. Sure, he's a top bloke. His missus seems sound, but he's a desperate little prick. The other thing, and sorry, Dave, we'll get to that now in a second. The other thing I wanted to touch on is Obafemi is a free man now, in that it looks like he can go to Raw or SmackDown. I don't care where he goes, as long as he pins John Cena on December 13th. That's all I
think
got to
that's
say
probably
about
bunker,
that.
to be honest.
Well, I hope not.
Dave, break it down for us now that
Yes.
he's shed himself of all his hate. Go ahead.
Right. Well, first of all, I've heard enough of Bren tonight because he's been talking spots off. Secondly, right, Bren, I think I'm going to wait to see. I'm going to wait to see what Bubba Ray has to say. The Lord that is and the gospel that is Bubba Ray. I'm going to wait to see what he has to say about this. Now, NXT was phenomenal, right? And it was phenomenal because I have the light on already for you. Doors unlocked. Anyway,
he prefers the light off. Just saying.
He's not getting it, and he can keep his socks on as well.
That's why you could say him there. He's in that Wyatt 6 cave there. Look.
The bottom line is NXT has had a habit recently of putting on banger PLEs. You know, when NXT's always had we won't talk about Level Up or 2.0, but when it's been NXT, it's always been, you look at it and go, why isn't WWE this good? You know, we've all been there where we looked at something and go, why is this so much better? But I think the weaponized steel cage match between Jordan Gray, I could watch this 2, 3, 4 times. Unbelievable match between them two. Jordan Grace, I can't wait till she gets called up. I don't know when or if it'll happen anytime soon. Maybe around Mania time, maybe around Rumble time. She might make an appearance in the Women's Rumble again, but she is one of my favorites at the moment. Javon Evans, what a talent. Coming out facing Sammy, that match was phenomenal. The match against Josh Briggs was solid. Ricky Saints beating Obafemi was one of the shocks that I did not expect. I thought the match was fantastic. Again, the NXT women's match, JC Jane, the whole show was solid straight the way through. I didn't have any problems with it at all. Ethan Page is my only worry with NXT now. He's getting on a bit. His age is a bit right. If you're gonna go up at any point, it has to be soon. Otherwise, you're gonna miss that mark of, is he gonna get called up, or is he gonna kind of be that Ridge Holland kind of, you get called up, but you're not quite ready for WWE, and you just end up kind of rotting down in NXT. He is getting wins, but I just think if they're going to bring him up, it has to be soon.
I think, to be honest
but
with you, Dave,
overall, I think he was good.
To stay down in NXT.
Say again,
Keith.
I was just going to say, some of them like to stay down in NXT. Some of them don't want to be called up, because I remember one of the DIY guys wanted to stay in he wanted to stay in NXT and he didn't want to be called up.
But I think, Keith, that's because the ship had sailed on Ciampa. It had to call it.
Because his best time was in NXT. You know what I mean? His peak popularity was in NXT, and people want to stay there where, you know, the grass was greener for them. But I think your ultimate aim, if you're in NXT, should be the main roster. This should be your platform to be like, I'm going to show, you know, Triple H that I'm ready to be called up. You know, that Shawn Michaels is going to come up to me and go, I'm going to put you forward. You know what I mean? To go up to the main roster at some point, you know, in the next 6 months or so.
I totally agree with you, Dave. I think if you're in NXT and your aim is not to get to the main roster, you shouldn't be there. It's like if you're on the roster and your aim isn't to become world champ somehow, you shouldn't be there. That should be at the back of your mind. That's just my opinion, but I think you're spot on.
My last take for NXT, sorry to cross you, my last take from NXT is a personal one. To see Leon Slater, you know, on NXT, for me personally, I mean,
it's phenomenal.
I'd say for 2 solid years in 2023 and 2024, me and the wife flew back to Dublin once a month to go to FFPW shows. We didn't do much of the OTT stuff because it was just the timings weren't right. It was a Friday night. It was easy to get flights and fly back on the Saturday and all that stuff, Sundays. So we for a year and a half, I'd say, to 2 years, we flew back once a month for the FFPW shows. And Leon was always one of the names that was on them shows. Now, he only stopped recently because of, his traction in TNA and NXT. It was only, I think it was January or something where he had his last FFPW show. But I still have my T-shirt from his first show. I seen him, the youngest in charge with the 2 skull hands, on the chest. And seeing him get that far at that age, I mean, what's he, 19? It's such a bright future ahead of him. He's such a good talent. And that, for me personally, seeing someone who's gone from like FFPW and PPW in the UK and gone right to the top level in such a short amount of time and such a young age is just amazing.
And if you want to know more about Leon Slater, check out his interview with Sean on the channel. There we go.
Also, Fight Factory are having an open weekend for any girls here. So come on down this weekend.
Keith, away you go, Keith.
I'm not a girl, so this.
Mr. Obvious. There we go. Awesome. Emma, make sure let us know next week how it goes. Let us know next week how it goes as well. Are we going to talk? Who will I go to here? Bren, are we going to talk about Obafemi going down to a tornado DDT?
I think we should. I think it's a very weak finish for such a somebody who's been built as this big monster. Like, it shouldn't be the way he goes out of NXT. It was all to me. I mean, was that the intended finish? Was that planned? Were they told to rush it or something like that? Because to me, if that was planned, it's not great. It should never have happened. He should have lost. If he was going to lose decisively, it should have been to a whopper finisher or a whopper move. For something like that, no, not a chance. Now, look, I think this means that he's done in NXT, which is a good thing. But, yeah, hopefully he won't be remembered for how he was finished in NXT anyway.
Brent, can I just ask you a question? Obafemi going up, if he is going up, do you think it's a wrong time for him to go up at this point?
Absolutely not.
I'm just wondering with everything that's going on right now, do you think they should just wait until after Mania like they usually do?
No. So somebody like Obafemi can work as a disruptor because as solid as Raw is and as improving as SmackDown may be, they need somebody. They need to inject somebody with personality, a massive presence, and I think Obafemi is the guy. I think he's the guy. I think he's. To be honest, I don't know. I think maybe SmackDown. I was going to say I think maybe SmackDown to kind of bring up the brand, but I wholeheartedly believe, and I said it a couple of months ago on the show, that if the timing was right when Cena finished, Obafemi should be the guy. The reason I think he should be the guy is because then he can use it. He can really benefit from it. He can be like, regardless of championships, I'm the guy that ended the greatest of all time. Who are you, Zack Ryder? A bloody nobody who was famous on YouTube. You're a nobody. And
you're
now
waffling.
I'm going to batter you.
Waffling. You're a waffler.
But all messing aside, Obafemi is the man.
Well, we've 2 things that we want to talk about tonight and as well. And we want it from the chat as well. One, we're looking for who's one pick you want to be inducted into the Hall of Fame? And we'll give ours as well, of course. And also, been a lot of talk this week over John Cena's final opponent. Tell me in the chat, and also we'll talk about it on the panel as well. I'm just going to move this.
I have someone in mind for that.
I want to discuss this. I'd like to know who should be John Cena's last opponent, and should it be where I would call something that's entwined in his career and big and special and all this that should be? Or do you believe it should be someone up and coming who he should give the rub to and kind of pass the torch, if you want, whatever it is? What way should it go?
Fine, I'll do it.
Go ahead, Emmett.
I'll go on. Listen, John, if you're watching this, come on.
And he does watch. He does watch.
He's there in the corner. Look,
definitely watch.
He's down the corner.
We just can't see him.
John, I'll see you in Bray. That's where your last match will be.
I just want to address something that Ian Hodger said there, because there's something that Anta was asked me about on TikTok. Adam Copeland, Edge is in contract with. Now, to be honest, they kind of blurred the lines with the story there a few weeks ago, and even I was a bit, hang on, what's the crack here? But Edge is in contract with AEW until, at the very least, the middle of 2026. And I actually hear that I was going to say I heard it was later in the year. So the reality of it is, Edge, Adam Copeland is not a reality, and that's it. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if those rumors have been killed officially yet, but 100% he's in contract until
I think
2026.
his last opponent should be Braun Breaker.
Not a bad shout,
Ooh.
Okay.
but it doesn't. I don't think. Maybe they can align it with the story. I don't think it makes sense.
Well, I just think it's a
But
passing of the torch type of storyline.
Yeah, but get him away from the vision.
that he should
Yeah,
have
if
been
anyone's
pulled
going to
from the
pass the
vision
torch,
2
it'll be
months ago.
Seth. You know,
Hmm.
if he's going to
Should
win
have
the
been
title,
pulled
it'll
from
be
the
against
division 2
Seth. I
months
think.
I just think
100%.
he should have face Cena, be pass of the torch type of thing. He's going to be the next guy that's going to be overtaking Roman.
I saw a thing on online, and someone said Dominic Mysterio as like a pass.
I like that.
Not a bad shout either. Not a bad shout
I
either.
like that. Or look, Joe Hendry. Oh no,
Yeah.
I've said his name.
Mm.
Lying bastard. Where is he? But Joe Hendry, like, yeah. So I mean, look, there's lots of names out there, but I think we're looking at Steph at the moment. Sorry, no.
Yes. Well, the question is, this was one of Keith's topics that he wanted to bring up. Keith, talk to me. You kick it off here. Your feelings about. You wanted to gauge people's feelings about the Hall of Fame. How do they feel about it and all that kind of stuff?
I just feel that it's kind of lost its way a bit, to be honest, over the last while. I was talking to Dave about this when we went out for a walk. I feel instead of having it every year, because I remember at the start, it was back in, was it the early 90s that they had loads of them going in and all this, and then they took a break from it and came back a couple of years later, and then it felt really great. It felt very nostalgic and all this, people going in that you used to follow when you're a kid and all. I personally think they need to just, instead of doing it every year, just have it do it every 2 years. Do you know? And that way it's like, I kind of feel that they're kind of just putting people in for the sake of putting people in. Like, for instance, Booker T's wife, come on. Like, what has she done to be put into the Hall of Fame? Let's be honest. I don't agree with that. I have my own opinions about Michelle McCool. I don't think she should be going in. She should have went in.
Rikishi, he said as well.
Rikishi, yeah. Like, you know, like for me.
So tell us this. What is, if you don't think Michelle McCool should have gone in there, right? What would be your parameters for entering into the Hall of Fame? What do people have to do? Because you're looking at Michelle McCool, who's been an unbelievable performer, who's been a trailblazer, who's been a multiple-time champion. You know, what's the parameters for going in?
I personally do think, like, yeah, not like if you're going to go in, you have to go in for, like, you know, the Hall of Fame should be the top tier of people going into the Hall of Fame. That's where I look at it. So, like, you have to be remembered for your matches, your promos, or, you know, vice versa for everything, really. Like, you know, I know not everybody has an elite Hall of Fame stature, like probably like Taker or Stone Cold. But I just feel like, for me, over the last while, they just throwing people in for the sake of throwing them in. Maybe because it was a favor done. But
Keith, does Ricky Steamboat deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, he's one of the worst speakers in the world on the mic. Terrible on the mic. So by our own parameters there, Ricky Steamboat doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Or am I looking at, did I take you too literally? Am I looking too deep into it? Because to me, I understand what you're going with, a complete package, but that's like saying I'll only watch Raw and main events if the main event title fights are there. I think the Hall of Fame should be structured like a wrestling company. I think you should have your you know what I mean? I think you should have your middle level and your
I get your
level.
point. I do get your point, but what I'm saying is, do you think it's kind of lost its way? I think it's lost its way, the Hall of Fame.
I think what you just said about having it every 2 years is a really good show. I like that. I think it's really cool, and I wouldn't mind. But the Hall of Fame is one of my favorite parts of every year because I love listening to the stories. I love listening to them talk. And I love the emotion of it as well. I get drawn in. You know what I mean? I'll never forget watching certain Hall of Fame moments. I'll never forget when Piper went in and I watched it. I was in a bleeding bundle in 2008. That's not here. Eddie Guerrero. So it's like, look, it's subjective, I guess, but I just think based on what you said there, it eliminates a lot of good people that are currently in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? I think that's just my opinion. And look,
I think the problem with the Hall of Fame, is that they've turned it into this monstrous commercial entity. Whereas before it felt like quite a personal thing. First Hall of Fame I attended, there was 2,500 people at it. We were literally sitting beside the wrestlers in the Rosemont Theatre.
Wow.
Were you there when Beth Phoenix went in? Niall?
I don't what year, what one was that? Remind me.
Do you know what?
I was there. Well, the one in the Rosemont Theatre was Eddie's and Brett's. It was the one where Hogan. It was one where Austin walked out on stage and he was putting it up to Hogan and all. Remember?
21. No,
22.
no, it wasn't.
22.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. So that was my first Hall of Fame. About 2,500 people in the Rosemont Theatre. You walked in. It came free with the package. You walked in. You got a gold embossed program, so it felt like you were going to a big event kind of thing, you know. And when you were leaving, then they gave you like a medal of your attendance at it. Big medallion medal, and it was so cool. And you didn't have to pay for any of that. It was all, you didn't pay for anything. And we were standing outside, and they gave us roses in the queue to present to Eddie's family when they pulled up. It was so cool. It was so cool. It was so personal, and it was brilliant. And then it kind of went into kind of stadiums or basketball arenas or whatever it is, and it kind of lost that. Like your fans sitting like 200 yards away, 300 yards away now from the stage, and that personal side of it has gone. And I get it, maybe you have to kind of keep a bit of distance. We seen what happened with Brett at that one at Mania 35 when the guy came in and speared him in the ring and stuff, and there's obviously security things and all that kind of stuff. But I think in terms of losing its way, I think it's lost its way in terms of that personal connection, that one night where we do tip our hat to those people going into the Hall of Fame, make it a big deal, and that's worthy of it. I don't think we can judge everyone in the same way going into the Hall of Fame. I think there's different levels of ways of doing it and stuff like that. And I think it's a real tough one, because the thing about it is, no matter who they put in, someone's going to have a mound that someone else hasn't gone in. And this is just what happens.
My thoughts on it, when I said this to Keith, was it comes in waves, right? So the generation that went in with your Stone Cold and potentially Rock and Triple H and Undertaker and Kane, after that we kind of had a period where there wasn't really many that could go into the Hall of Fame. But now if you look at 10 years from now, you're flooded again with your Seth Rollins and your CM Punks and your Roman Reigns and your Jey Usos. You could literally riff off 30 or 40 different wrestlers that are potentially going into the Hall of Fame in 10 years' time. Like, it comes in waves. We're just at that period now where, it's probably, they're struggling to find people because we're looking at a generation where there wasn't that many.
Dave. I don't think they are, because there's so many of them out there that should be in it.
Yeah, but you gotta look at some of them as well. Some of those wrestlers have either been contacted to go in and refused and didn't want to. Yeah, and you've got some wrestlers out there who have passed away, who their families have been contacted, who don't necessarily want them to go in.
True.
Lots of different stuff has happened. So it's look at how long it took us to get Warrior back. Look at how long it took us to do Macho Man. It should have never happened. You know what I mean? Really, 100%. Both those guys, thank God Warrior went in when he was alive, and Macho Man, he should have went in when he was alive. And that's just the way it is.
Like one of the biggest going in the future is probably The Miz. When you really look at his career and what he's done in WWE, I mean, I think he's gone under the radar as one of the biggest Hall of Fame inductees that will come in the future, purely on what he's done in his career and not only how many titles he's had, but he can name WrestleMania main events where he's defeated John Cena, defended the title at WrestleMania. I don't know how many people have done that in their career. And I just think just a special mention for The Miz, because there's one of these people, when he goes in, I'm going to be like, you absolutely 110% deserve to be in that Hall of Fame.
100%.
Yeah, I think Romy makes a good point as well. He says there should be a physical building. There should be a Hall of Fame that people can go and actually visit.
Yeah, like a town
I think what they tried to do a number of years back when I went to the fan accesses originally, they used to have a big area in there that kind of felt a little bit like a Hall of Fame. You'd have some of Vince's old jackets and some Mean Gene Okerlund stuff and Flair. They'd have bits and pieces there and stuff like that and all. And it kind of gave you that nostalgia feel and stuff like that and all.
But Niall, they have that warehouse there full of nostalgia stuff that they don't even use for the public.
Well, they use
Put it in Connecticut.
They use it on some of the shows, but I suppose the biggest difficulty is where do you locate it? You know what I mean? And if you located, but let's suppose you're located in Connecticut, Dave. Are people gonna travel to Connecticut to visit the WWE Hall
I think
of Fame?
New York.
You know. So I don't know. It's a difficult one to call. Where do you put it? Like, you know yourself, if you put it in New York, you'll probably have Brett coming on going, "Oh, what's that?" You know what I mean? And you know the usual. You know, it's just this is what you're going to get.
Should be in Calgary.
Yeah, it should be in Calgary or Montreal or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And then you'll have other people going, why isn't it in LA and why isn't it in Chicago? So Chicago is where all the wrestling spawns from. Why isn't it down south? Did no one look at Mid-South? Did no one look at Florida and all this? How come it's not in Texas because of the Von Erichs? Yeah. So you can't. You're not going to please anyone. You know what I mean? So, but I do think there should be one that's a physical Hall of Fame.
100%.
That each
100%.
year, when as it progresses each year and stuff like that, those things move into that building, and that building has room to expand and stuff.
If you look at Toronto has the Hockey Hall of Fame. Cooperstown has the Baseball Hall of Fame. You know, there's an NFL one as well that people can visit and see all the Stanley Cups and all the jerseys and the history of hockey and baseball and all the other sports. There should 100% be a physical WWE Hall of Fame.
It's a business side as well. The cost and all that, you know what I mean?
I think Goldust should be going into it, to be honest with you.
Yes, of course. When he's not under contract with Goldust, sorry. Dustin
Rhodes.
Yeah. He should go into it, and Win Regal should be into it as well. Like,
Regal 100%. When Niall asked the question earlier on, first person that came to my head was William Regal.
Robbie Brookside.
Yeah. Emma, anyone to add or anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'm in the agreement of it's not just about their mic skills, their wrestling skills and stuff. There needs to be kind of different parts where they
contributions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Their footprint and legacy they've left on the business.
Exactly. Like
and for some people that can be 6 months, it can be a year, it can be whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Shockmaster.
Well, I mean, I remember him as Typhoon. You know what I mean?
Do you think you should have like the greatest moments as well, like as a separate thing?
They already have the matches going in. I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's a bit much. I think that's them stretching it a bit, putting matches in the Hall of Fame. That's a
TKO thing that was started by the UFC.
I'd like the statue.
Started inducting matches.
I'd like that bloody statue. It's bleeding deadly.
Well, Jim Johnson should be in it, I think, but however.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants
get
to.
Big Dick Johnson in the Hall of Fame. Mankini the lot. There you go. What was your man at TNA? Big oily guy. Remember that? Big oily guy. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, see the thing about it is you know, you can become a Hall of Fame contender from a very short career, depending on what you leave, the footprint on the legacy and stuff like that. Others can take 20 years. You know what I mean? It's.
Now, can I ask you a question? Do you think Jim Cornette will go into it? He deserves to go into it, but do you think he'll go into it?
But again, that's another thing. That's a Jim Cornette thing. It's not a WWE thing. I understand where I can understand where he's coming from. I get it. But also, I think a wrestling Hall of Fame without Jim Cornette in it has questions, you know. But then some people will come on here and go, Jim Cornette, not a chance. So everyone has a different opinion on these things, you know. And it's how they come about. Yeah, but the thing about it is, and we have to understand this, as popular as Jim Cornette is, I'm a huge Jim Cornette fan. I love the podcast. I loved him when he was wrestling. I loved him at times when he was booking. But he's not everyone's cup of tea, and not everyone will come on here and say they like Jim Cornette.
But we can all agree that William Regal should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No question.
I'll tell you another thing as well. You can be guaranteed William Regal has already been asked to go into the Hall of Fame and
Yeah.
maybe didn't feel the timing was right or the
Yeah.
class wasn't right. Maybe he wants to go in with a different type of class going in with him and stuff like that and all. There's no way William Regal hasn't already been approached in terms of the Hall of Fame.
What about China Solo or even Miss
Yeah.
Elizabeth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Miss
100%.
Elizabeth. I mean, that
Yeah.
was iconic.
You want to talk
Elizabeth,
trailblazers,
will
you talk
marry
about China.
Yeah. China deserves to be in
100%.
it. 100%.
Yeah.
Solo, like, yeah.
Out of interest, guys, was there anybody with a really short career that would be worthy? I know Niall just mentioned it there, just clicked in my head. It's not about what you do, but you could have it in a short space of time. Is there anyone you would consider to go into the Hall of Fame that did not have a long career in the business in
Brian
whatever they do,
Pillman?
whether it was backstage or?
Am I wrong there? Brian Pillman, maybe?
He would have had a reasonable career.
You would
I
be
suppose when you think
already.
of careers that I suppose when you think Luther Reigns, look at this guy, Luther.
Nathan Jones.
Horseshoe.
Oh God, I'll tell you. I suppose you could talk about kind of things like obviously Eddie's gone in there and stuff like that, but I mean Eddie's career was obviously cut heavily short and stuff like that and all, you know. So, but phenomenal career nonetheless.
Did they take Chris Benoit out of the Hall of Fame, or is he still in that?
Never went in.
Chris
Did he not?
Benoit was never inducted into the Hall of
Oh, I
Fame.
thought he was in. I thought he was
No,
in.
no. He
No, no.
inducted. He was part of the three that inducted Eddie Guerrero. It was him, Ray, and Chavo.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought he was
So
in for
he was never inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I'm sure he was still active
Yeah.
when
He was still wrestling. Yeah, he was still active.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Madness.
Dropped the US belt to JBL at Mania 22.
I think they put
Broke my
Bray in
heart.
next year.
Who?
Bray.
Again, I think that's another one probably where questions have been asked and maybe just the timing isn't right or something like that, and they want to do it in a certain
Maybe they wanted
way.
the headline.
Yeah, or maybe they want it where it's maybe
I say
if
be John Cena
WrestleMania
next
if
week.
WrestleMania ends up closer to his home or something like that, that it's a bit more personal or something like that, you know. Like there's no doubt they've been approached, no doubt about it. Look, his dad's IRS. Come on.
I think it'll be John Cena next year, to be honest.
Muhammad Hassan for the Hall of Fame, short career, but it was memorable. Umaga actually is a shout. Umaga is a real good shout, actually. Yeah, Test is a real.
I'd say
shout.
John Cena for 2027, Keith. I don't think he'd go in if Steph is headlining.
But I think it'll complete his whole retirement thing. I think it'll make him much better.
Well, actually, Steph, if it wasn't for, I said this the other day in the chat, if it wasn't for Steph, well, mainly Rikishi, if it wasn't for Rikishi, we wouldn't have John Cena today. It was him that started the rap battle at the back of the bus. It was Steph that was on the bus. He heard the rap battle between Rikishi and John. She said, "Can you see that on TV?" Word Life would never have happened, and John Cena would probably, I don't know what he'd be doing now, but Steph is a massive reason we have John Cena today. So there you go.
What's
going on here, Ian? How many David Schultzes do you want inducted? How many David Schultzes?
I only know of one.
Last time I checked, there was only one, but you've requested about 5 here now. Has you got a lot?
Unless he knows a few, he probably is he going through the phone book or something like that.
We didn't miss your comments. Your comments are going up. It's all good. Sean Mack, Hall of Fame.
Welcome back, Sean Mack. Welcome
Return of the Mack.
How did the road meeting go?
Went well. We've got.
What's your roster? What's your roster for next week, Bob?
I'm in a group of two with the girls. But no, everyone's nice. It was the first time I think we've had everything in the flat down, everything in its right place. So it's nothing terrible. Just
sounds like an X Factor journey. But go on.
Yeah.
What?
Tidying up. Well, for some of them, they're probably like layabouts, and after the X Factor's finished, they have to start like tidying their kitchen.
No. We want to know what card you drew. Where are you in the roster?
We don't have.
What days are you doing?
We do it Tuesday every week, so Tuesdays can be cleaning day.
Okay.
And
So you
Monday there must be horrific, is it?
I'm not in on Monday, but I've started boxing. There's a boxing society that I do on Mondays, so I'll be up for that.
You have to tell them that you're a podcaster on Tuesdays between the times of 8 and 9:30, and that's non-negotiable.
Believe me, I tried. I said, I'm a podcaster. Excuse me, I'm a podcaster. I was at the 3 Arena. I'm a podcaster. Excuse me.
No, you need to promo. You need to put a promo worthy of the Hall of Fame on them.
I should do like a Hard Times promo. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hard Times.
You have dined on Coca noodles, pal. You have dined on Coca noodles.
There you go.
As
There you
I
go.
had my doner kebab pot noodle, I thought to myself, "What the state of this world?"
Anyway, now that you've put down the Hoover and the feather duster, talk to me about the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, sorry. Stephanie absolutely deserves to be there. I think the way that she got inducted with the Undertaker was a bit strange. Like the segment, I mean, not her being in there. And Emma, I'm sorry that I had to walk out as soon as you were starting your presentation, but I really agree with it, and I think it's very important points to bring up.
Oh no, it's fine. I got it. You just hate it. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
That's not what.
No,
Emma, that's not what he
know.
said. He sent me a private message, and that is not what he said.
I'm joking.
Sean, that is not cool. Oh,
I said, yeah.
We
said
don't condone
loathe-
Sean Max sexism on the podcast.
Yeah.
Listen,
Not
Sean,
so-
I'll see
Well,
you in
Sean-
the ring.
I absolutely
Yeah.
love women's wrestling's action figures.
All outs and all. Love this.
John,
Yeah.
who would you like to see go into the Hall of Fame that isn't there yet? Just
Well,
give
out
us a
of the
name or two.
Out of the people you mentioned, I definitely would like Regal.
Good shout.
Seen as a given, I think Bray Wyatt possibly should have happened already. One I'd like to see, and I'm only thinking about this because I brought the DVD, but WB often, is a piss bracket break.
You're being accused of all sorts here, Sean, in this comment section. Tell you.
It's not my fault. It's like, do you remember that? I forget his name.
Oh yeah,
Sir
Stitsky, it's not my fault.
Yeah, it's not my
Yeah.
fault. But do you remember that sketch from Little Britain where like the minister is reading out like a statement to the press about something? Like, as the women's wrestling match commenced, I got locked in the bathroom.
Did you see Snitsky last week at the Comic-Con or whatever it was? And your man hands him his baby and he pretends
Yeah.
to drop kick the baby. Quality.
So good.
And the mother is there, or his wife or fiance, whatever it is, and she's absolutely flabbergasted going, what's he doing? Your man hands him the baby to drop kick it. Quality.
Yeah.
Quality. So good. So
Jeez.
good.
No,
Well,
let it be known. I like women's wrestling, but unfortunately, as soon as I saw the phrase women's wrestling, the clock struck half, and I had to get out of here. I do actually like it. For Hall of Fame, Regal, I think they should do. They keep doing celebrity ones. One I'd like to see Leslie Nielsen, because I love the Naked Gun movies, and remember he was on a quest to find the Undertaker.
Yes, they had a
It's
big
really
thing
weird.
in the WWF magazine as well. It was deadly.
Yeah, really, really good. So there's that. I would like to, and again, I don't know, legacy, death, lawsuits, other companies. I would like to see some ECW people in there. I'm telling you this: if New Jack can get in a 2K game with Nick Khan's backing, he can absolutely get in the Hall of Fame. But that induction speech is going to hit like crack. Music's going to be playing all the way through, and it'll be tremendous. But
I think
don't.
Evolution should get in.
Absolutely, yeah. But I don't think about the Hall of Fame too much because, well, it makes me a bit sad, doesn't it? It makes you feel old, because when they're in the Hall of Fame, like they won't be here much longer, especially if they're active. It just makes you feel old. But saying
Unless
that,
you're
I'm
edging,
never.
you come back.
Yeah,
Well, actually, here's one for you. X-Pac. Should he go in on his own?
TX should go in, shouldn't they? Well, X-Pac on
already
his
in
own, actually. I don't know about X-Pac on his own.
I don't think he should, but that's just me. But
Oh, the 1-2-3 kid. Sean Waltman, the 1-2-3 kid.
I don't know who that is.
X-Pac, the 1-2-3 kid was he was around. I think he was around when Leslie Nielsen was looking for the Undertaker. But he had a great match against Razor Ramon. His match against Bret Hart on Raw was off the chart.
He found X-Pac instead.
Well, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, no. Yeah, Stephanie.
He's all,
one I
he's
would
all
like
good
to-
with me. The fact that he loves dogs so much, he's all good with me.
Technically, he's in here already, but he never got a proper induction because I think schedules clashed and stuff. But Batista,
100%.
Dave Batista should
He
be.
will be going in. I think he will be going in.
Batista.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Can you imagine the plenty standing at it? It'll only show his head because look at the transformation he's gone through.
I hope Edge Christian go
He
in.
had to make
soon.
it. He had to make a decision whether he wanted to be typecast for the rest of his career or he wanted to have real roles. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. X-Pac tore ass for the Hall of Fame. There we go. There we
He
go.
did. He did.
Rough.
Legit, that happened.
Right,
that happened.
let's move on from the Hall of Fame then. I think we've drenched it enough. Good topic though, Keith. Well done. Like it. Like it, you find out the good topics, folks. Gouging. Let's talk about gouging at a different level here. Sean, not even you and Bren, the staunchest John Cena fans, can justify this. The Verizon Center in Washington, D.C. What a location. Saturday night's main event for the princely sum of 11.5 grand if you want to be camera side and front row.
Lick me proverbial hoop.
Whoa! All right.
Standard seats ranging from 250, which is out in the car park, up to 3 grand. 9.5 grand for row 2 if you're going to cheap out on John Cena's last night. If it is his last night. Imagine Cena comes back at Mania. How squeezed would you feel? Or that Royal Rumble in Saudi comes out as Thugonomics, or that what was the other one, the prototype or something like that.
Prototype,
Not
just
being
for
on the
wines.
prototype.
Sorry,
Yeah.
weren't you
Or
listening?
the Peacemaker. He could come out as the Peacemaker, technically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or you can add a
yeah.
H in there and just come out as John Cena.
Yeah. John Cena and the prototype are not the same person. Fifth
Didn't he have
row
Hulk Hogan is not Mr. America.
or Terry Bollea.
Doesn't he have a
Yeah.
Mexican cousin, Juan Cena?
He did.
That's something else. Now let me rewind that for you. John Cena and the prototype are not the real person. Yeah, this is look. I am fucking exhausted complaining about these prices. And look, it's John Cena's final match, so I can understand the prices being maybe a hair more expensive. And I think they're doing a weekend, aren't they? They're doing SmackDown on Friday. What hair? They're doing SmackDown on Friday, and then they're doing this on Saturday. So yeah, but man,
But that's not on this ticket price.
11.5. What can you buy with? Can someone in the chat do me a thing? What can you get with 11.5 grand, or someone on the panel?
I could
A
tell
new
you what
car.
I'll tell you what I can do with 11.5 grand, but I'll tell you when the podcast ends.
No.
I'm not going to
Christ.
tell you what. If I had 11.5
I have
grand, I'll tell you what I'll do with 11.5 grand.
I have time.
It's. Do you know what? The thing about it is, the match itself is going to be 20-25 minutes, right? So that's they're basing it. You're going to see somebody for 20-25 minutes. You get a little bit of an event. The thing about it is, if you want to go see somebody like say Westlife and get Golden Circle, 125 gets you up front, right?
Yeah. The good thing about Westlife, and the good thing about Westlife is you won't get ads in the middle of the set.
Do you know
You won't get ads.
If you buy an 11.5 grand ticket, you divide that by 25, it's $4.60 a minute.
Like that's
So
ridiculous.
I'm gonna put my Revolut down below, guys, if you want to donate to me. So I
That
can
sounds
go.
like good value, actually. At 460 a minute, it sounds much better. I don't feel as bad though.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, like the likes of Elton John charge 200 quid. I seen Michael Jackson in 1997 for 90 pounds.
Yeah, Brad, that's
Now, I know that-
1997.
Yeah, I
That's
I
not
find
the
it-
same. And we're
No,
not going to
with
compare
inflation,
Elton
that's
John
about
to
300
John Cena.
Well, no, I regret saying that. To be fair,
Stop shouting. You're shouting all over the place. I'm going to bed. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're shouting all over the place. On that.
Here we
probably
go.
my fault.
Ring the bell,
Probably.
Apollo.
That's probably my fault. Sorry, me shouting. He probably heard Bladen Westlife this and Westlife that. And he's like, I'm listening to those bollockses again.
Yeah, imagine getting woken up by Westlife chat.
I do every morning.
Yeah. By choice. By choice.
The
Though.
fear of Louis Walsh standing over your bed. My God.
Podge and Rog
Just saying.
Senior. Have you seen him these days?
Oh,
but look,
my God.
The example I'm using, Niall, is it's like for a gig with your favorite singer or musicians or whatever, it's about 150 quid all in these days. I know Oasis was a bit more, but like.
Sorry, you just rolled that back there a bit more. Where's this 150 quid you're getting off? Where are you getting this from?
So for Robbie Williams, I spent 150 quid and I was up front. I was literally standing in front of him for 150 quid, and he put on a over 2 hours of a show. Unbelievable.
I went to Wembley to see Taylor Swift, and I was front row. She was right in front of me, and the ticket was £80, I think.
What?
Last year.
£80 for Taylor.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But that's the thing, and look, we know
Has everyone
price.
on here got a different ticket master than I have, or what's
Yeah.
the story? Because
I
I'm
saw
a Ticketmaster.
I saw Wasp in the National Stadium on second row, 50 quid, and they
where,
are
where are we going with this?
There's so, and look, they are not as big as Coldplay or Taylor Swift. They didn't even sell at the National Stadium. But the point is, saying that all these artists who are as big of a deal as WB and John Cena are charging peanuts, it doesn't mean that John Cena is more special. It's genuinely embarrassing. Realistically,
But does it come to a point in time where they're gonna have to stop this? Like, I know they're probably not, but do you know it has to come to a
Yeah,
point.
they're going to stop it after this because he's leaving.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, it's
They
getting
did say they were going to raise prices again. They did say that. That came from Mark Shapiro, the head of TKO. He did
But like,
say
who can afford this though? It's ridiculous.
He made the comment apparently that it's still value for money and it's still too cheap.
it's not.
that's what he said.
It's really not.
It's not. It's pricing out the average family.
It's pricing
as
out
if-
their demographic.
It's pricing out,
Families.
it's pricing out the average country. Pricing out the
No, but-
average family. What's well,
It's-
imagine if you had like a family of four all going. What's that? $46,000 for a family of four front row. 46 grand, which is 92 grand of disposable income for most people on that type of bread.
Listen,
It's
I'm
fine.
telling you, what you need is a younger sibling. I went to the Amsterdam House show and we paid under 100 quid for a ticket, and my sister met Randy Orton. So, what you need is a younger sibling because they'll just get you to the front row. I'm
I
super
will
sorry.
get on to my mother and father straight away, Emma.
There you
I will
go.
let you know how that
Listen,
conversation
Ian,
goes.
the reason we moved on to Taylor Swift is because Taylor Swift as a star in the world at the moment is comparable to John Cena. Not
But
like,
as
not
but as well,
Westminster.
but Niall, the point we're trying to get, the point I was trying to get at is you get a full 2 hours with your favorite artist. They play the hits. You're paying that. Let's just say you're a staunch Cena fan, and he's the main reason you're going. You're getting 25 minutes of John Cena.
You got
that's
20 years of them. What are you talking about?
460.
You're paying for the 20 years. You're not paying for the rock up on the night. You're paying for the magnitude of the 20 years. You don't go and see the Rolling Stones and pay the money you're paying because you're seeing them that night. You're paying because they've been around since Jesus came back out, or whoever came back out of the desert. that's why, you know what I mean? That's why you're paying the big bucks. When John
I think
Cena goes on the marquee, it's different gravy.
But I think we can all agree that pricing is bollocks, and it prices a lot of us out. I think you put it best, Niall. Price out a whole country, and they need to really look at that, because I know, like I know young fellas that, like young lads that love wrestling. You know what I mean? That I see at the OTT shows, and it's pricing little lads like them out, and little girls and stuff like that like them out, and it's not fair. It's not right.
The statistic that went around, I saw that they priced out 60% of their fan base.
Well, Keith, they're still making the money though. That's the thing. Like, and I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. But people are still buying tickets, and they're still making the money, which is
Well,
why.
how are you buying these tickets? That's what I like to know.
Okay, Keith, this will sell out. I seen your man Brock Lesnar guy the other day put up a post. I think we spoke about it last week, and he was trying to decide about WrestleMania, the 55 grand package or the 35 grand package, and he was having a debate with lads, friends of his on Twitter. Should I go for row 2 or will I go for row 1? Should I spend 35 grand or 55 grand?
I'm thinking of myself those days, you know? Like, I'm just sitting here debating it, you know?
I'm thinking of 6 months in the Maldives being treated like a king. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of living on a yacht in Monaco for a year.
I mean, like, I would push getting a ticket to SmackDown in Dublin just because the prices.
Well, to be, I was lucky that I got a ticket for SmackDown. It was gifted to me. If it wasn't gifted to me, I probably wouldn't have been able to go. And that's the truth.
Well,
not a real fan. Right. So there, we said we'd highlight the gouging anyway. Let's talk about this. How do we feel about this?
It's balls. It's like Thanos just clicking his fingers. They didn't say anything. They swept it under the carpet. They said nothing. They didn't address it head on, and like all because Israel are offended. Israel are offended.
Don't get me started.
Well, that's the thing. So the equivalent to that is Oh, okay, Israel, I'm a little bit offended by the genocide you're doing. Is there any chance you could bleed and stop? Now, this isn't a political podcast. We're not going to get into that, and I probably shouldn't have said that. But WWE backing down from this was a pain in the neck. I don't think they should have.
Do you know what? When times like this, when you see something that Israel gets offended, I think, you know what? Free Palestine. WWE shouldn't have done that. If Israel's that offended, stop the whole genocide, lads. That's all I have to say.
What do they think Israel's going to do if they have the show called Invasion? Like not watch or something, or
Well, when you think probably about the hundreds of invasions down through the history of mankind,
Yeah.
and Israel was the only one that was offended, it was kind of a little bit weird. And I never get political on this podcast, and look,
No.
I don't want to see people get killed. I don't believe in war and all that kind of stuff and all, and I think people should be allowed to live, and people shouldn't draw lines, and they shouldn't get blurry, and they shouldn't get grey and all this kind of stuff and all. And I don't know. I just think I don't know. It's just a strange one, and it's just like,
like, it's kind of like Israel. It's kind of like if you're not offended, you know what you're doing. Let's be honest here. If you're not offended, you know what's going on.
And the other thing is, like, there's been so many shows and angles and stuff in wrestling that has been called Invasion. 2001 show called Invasion. OTT show in Limerick on Sunday was Invasion. The show with Carlito and Dundalk or Drogheda, I'm going to Invasion. It's very, very, very clear that was not the intent. I watched
No, definitely not.
When this was announced. I said, "Oh, Invasion, great." The big thing that offended me was, "Oh, bollocks! Of course, this counter program in AEW." Not that it was, and anyone I think who saw that and said, "Oh, it's just because of Israel," you're really like looking way too much into it.
I just think we just live in a time where people are offended by everything.
Yeah, and it absolutely shouldn't happen. But then again, I would rather the show have the name change and the show not happen. To be honest,
that's a very good point, actually.
Fair enough.
So hopefully it'll still be good. But it's a bit of a weird situation.
I prefer the name Invasion to Showdown, to be honest.
Yeah, I think when they call it Invasion, it feels like maybe there's more jeopardy and more stuff might happen. Showdown feels more contrived, doesn't it, Emma? Yeah, it feels a bit more contrived and laid out and all. Like this kind of NXT TNA thing should be kind of nearly ad hoc, that it's not really come across like it's planned and booked, where Showdown feels like, just feels like. Didn't they have a show, Super Showdown, before?
Yeah,
there Super Showdown.
Yeah,
or something like that?
Shows.
Super
one of the worst shows in history, I think, was 2019 or 2020. They're both bad, but the year they had DX against Versus Destruction.
I don't think
we should all put out a tweet tonight saying we're highly offended by the wording next Tuesday. We want it removed. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. It's just
No, but where do you draw the line? And like Sean said, like there was a clear. It's not like they made a logo. It was the same Invasion logo from 2001. So it was a clear kind of like nod back then. So, like I said,
it's another company infiltrating the same way that the ECW invaded WWE, the same way that back when we had brand supremacy for Survivor Series. Do you remember all the shows that get under siege? Do you remember all the SmackDown roster would rock up on Raw and vice versa? Like no one ever said, "Oh yeah, I remember when like Ireland invaded England." That's the same thing. It's absolutely not the same thing.
Yeah. Remember all the boys at ECW One Night Stand as well. That was kind of
yeah. But then again, that was like, fuck WWE, we're back. But also, thank you so much, WWE, for helping put on the show. I can't believe it ever happened. This isn't the case here. This is two companies, two brands, fighting for supremacy. I think it should absolutely be.
So yeah, we're highly offended, WWE, that you let people who were offended change the world as we know it. Would have preferred to have Invasion. Right, let's quickly talk about this. Netflix reportedly planning a bid to buy Warner Brothers. People, what does that mean for AEW and the future of AEW?
Does that mean we could potentially get the two of them on Netflix? Obviously, is that where you're going?
Now, where I'm going is, I wonder would the big brother get the little brother removed from the network? That's what I mean.
No, surely not. They'll do a Space Jam promotional match or like a backstage segment with Daffy Duck or something like that. That's about as far as it'll go. I don't imagine.
I'm seeing Triple H coming out in full DX form, going, look, I have AEW here right in my hands.
Tremendous.
Oh, can you imagine? Yeah, no, I just thought it was an interesting one about what would happen and stuff like that and all. And this poor Tony having sleepless nights at the thoughts of this.
Is it actually going to happen, or is it just talks about it?
There's huge talk about it at the moment. It sounds like Netflix wants to rule the world at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm
wish they stopped
offended by
raising
the
their bleeding
WWE
prices.
ticket prices. Can I have a ticket for a score then? Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. What else have I got for us? AJ Styles, guys. We kind of touched on it already, but AJ Styles retiring next year. Another one gone. Quick thoughts on it?
Enjoy him while he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The balls.
He deserves a good retirement, and I think it should finish in TNA.
I just think he needs to get out of that Los Americas thing and give him a good rivalry with somebody, to be honest with you.
I
Do you
think,
think-
what was it?
John Cena could
was
do
it
that.
John Cena? Jesus.
Well,
I did like,
you know,
I
the fact that-
did. Yeah, I did like when he was asked about it. He said that like when he feels he can't be AJ Styles anymore, which is very, very good to hear from a wrestler, that they know when it's the right time. And him being such a family man as well, and the kids and the wife and everything else. And look, he's made truckloads of money, so he doesn't have to worry about that. He's set for life and stuff like that.
He doesn't seem the type of guy who will come back as well. Do you know, like out of retirement?
I wouldn't be too sure about that now. I think he's all about the business as well when it's done in the right way. But I think it's good to hear. It's encouraging to hear from a wrestler that he knows when the time is right. He wants to go out at the right time, and he wants to still, you know, he doesn't want to go out broken up and useless to his family and a hindrance and stuff like that. So it's great to hear it. I think, even though we'll greatly miss him and stuff like that. Being a
If
fan
you
of
look at him, he
years.
doesn't look like he's missed a step or he's too slow like a Jericho in the ring. That's
I
the way
think
I look at him.
he's almost kind of at peace with leaving, almost, you know?
Yeah.
I've done what I can. This is my time now, so I can go.
I don't know.
He's probably looking as well, and like he's surveying the landscape. He sees the Braun Breakers of this world. He sees the Obafemis. He's seen these guys coming through. You know what I mean? And you know, there does come a time when it's not time to be taking spears off these guys or jackhammers or suplexes or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, he's done it all. He's achieved it all. There's nothing he should regret. And him coming out and actually being vocal about it and stuff like that is really, really encouraging. And it's something that a lot of wrestlers could learn from as well, because there is some wrestlers at times that just stick around too long and then they regret it and stuff like that, you know.
I think personally, it's a shame Samoa Joe is still on the WWE, because I think that would have been a great last match for him. But I would go with Finn Balor. That's just me for his last match.
Too hard to call at the moment, I think. He's got another few months left, so let's see how it shapes up.
I think Samoa Joe would have been a great one, personally, just for rivalry in TNA and everything.
For me, it's the same thing as I feel about John Cena. I think if you're going out, I think have the legacy fights before your last fight, have the moments, and then create a moment with somebody new and make the creation of that moment rub off of somebody new so they can use that going forward. That's how I feel about that. And I suppose, look, it's a debate for another day.
Yeah, but again, it's another one that we have to prepare for. And I suppose if you're down on NXT at the moment, or if you're on the current roster and you're in that kind of middle section of, you know, how to break out and what to do and stuff like that, these are the opportunities that will present you down the line, and it's up to those people to step out and take advantage of that, really, with John Cena leaving and Styles leaving, and then we know, you know, Randy's in there and stuff like that, and all these guys, they can't go forever. They cannot go forever. So,
and apparently these days all you need to do is just throw out a tweet. That's all you need to do. So that's how AJ and Cena got booked, so you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Ted is saying there as well, I think is correct as well. He has slowed down a little bit and stuff like that, and he has had a number of matches that I'd say from his point of view and his expectation of what he should deliver hasn't delivered. And I'm sure he's looking at that going, I don't want to stick around here and stink out the joint for another decade. I want to go off and I want to enjoy my family. I want to go off in physical health. You know what I mean? And like, he's like, it's tough leaving your family week in, week out on the road and stuff like that. And we only know a fraction of the commitments of these guys.
I think he'd be a great producer, to be honest with you, setting up a match.
Yeah, but again, the problem with that is, Keith, you're still on the road, you're still away from your family. You know what I mean? Like you look at Michael Cole as a commentator, and you see all these guys and all. You know, they've literally given their lives to WWE. There comes a point where you might want to sit back and have a game of golf, or go for a game of bowling with your family, or go out for a few beers with your mates, and not have to worry about getting a plane at 6 a.m. to make the next Raw, and you know what I mean, or the next house show. And look at AJ Styles. AJ Styles is an absolute workhorse as well.
You could do it in TNA, Niall, and it's not as a hard fought compared to WWE. Like, it's more of a chilled out schedule. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, but again, it's. I think sometimes maybe a step away is the best way to go, you know, because otherwise what you do is you go down there TNA and you like that, and like if they're only recording TV once a month or whatever it is and stuff like that and all, you know, you look at that and you go, well, if you get down and you deal with that and you get comfortable at that, are you ever going to step away? You know what I mean? And we always say it on this, these guys do have a bum clock as well. And I'm sure, Emma, people have touched on that with you as you begin your journey and stuff like that. Yeah. Wrestlers do have a bum clock, and you have to know when it's the right time to get out. And if you push it too far, the business has an awful way of biting you in the backside and stuff like that and all. And it's just, you know.
I just can't, before we wrap that up, I'll contradict myself for a second. If Saudi get, I always contradict myself. If Saudi get involved, right, and they say, Shawn Michaels, write your price on that. AJ Styles, write your price on that. WrestleMania Saudi, AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels, the last big hullabaloo. That would be phenomenal. No pun intended. Anyway, I contradicted myself, so I leave it there.
You know they're going to push for Shawn Michaels and Taker if that's going to happen. This is what's going to happen on this. You know where this is going. They're going to back up truckloads of cash. They're going to buy Taker and Shawn all brand new joints for their bodies.
What do you mean? Shawn Michaels never wrestled after that match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Do you know what? You're absolutely right.
That's true, but Shawn Michaels has never been shown that 40-foot container of Benjamins.
No, I have just erased that match out of my brain forever. When people tell me Shawn Michaels is Saudi, I'm like, wait, was he there? No, he Undertaker match. Oh, the Undertaker match. Yeah, at Mania that time. Yeah, it was great. Man, I miss him. Wonder what he would have done. You know.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. We take a little bit of history and a few birthdays and just finish up then. It's been
Let's do it.
I love this part.
It's been a very, very interesting podcast so far. It's like Sean moves like he's doing the crip walk. Like he just climbed off a horse. TKO swimming through money line. Scrooge McDuck, yeah, absolutely. Like Scrooge McDuck, 100%. Right, history. 1998 at Raw is War taping. One of the most famous skits in Raw history occurred. We remember Vince McMahon in the hospital, of course, and Austin with the bedpan, and Mr. Socko's debut and all the rest of it and all. Absolutely amazing. 1998 this week. 2005, CM Punk wrestles his first match as a WWE contracted wrestler when he defeats Danny Inferno in his Ohio Valley Wrestling debut. 2000, after Vince Russo vacated the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, he had won 7 days prior on Nitro. Booker T defeated Jeff Jarrett to win the vacated title. 2019, AEW Dynamite airs for the first time from the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. I presume that's now the Verizon Center, maybe. It could be the same. Let's see. The first ever match on Dynamite saw Cody Rhodes defeat Sammy Guevara. There we go.
Great match.
2020, on WWE SmackDown, The Fiend Bray Wyatt returned to television and took out Randy Orton during an episode of the KO Show. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. 1991, WWE presented their first event at the historic Royal Albert Hall in London, England. The event was headlined by a 20-man battle royal, and the winner taking home the Royal Saver Trophy. The match was won by the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith. Also, rest in peace.
They should do more shows at Royal Albert Hall. It's an incredible venue. Like, even when NXT UK ran it, it was...
Just the history of that hall for loads of sporting events, not even just wrestling, like, is insane. 1999, WWE circulated a press release to announce that writers Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara were leaving the company to become the head writers for Rivals WCW. Both guys did a shoot interview years ago. It was a double pack, I think, on High Spots or something like that, and it was really interesting to watch. It was a good watch, in fairness. Ed Ferrara had an unbelievable mind for the business.
In hindsight, probably no big loss for WWE getting rid of those cabbages.
Maybe, yeah. 2016 in the main event of Raw from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Bren might want to look away here, maybe.
No.
But Emma will be happy about this. I put it in, Emma. Sasha Banks defeated Charlotte Flair to win the Raw Women's Championship.
I'm not a fan of Sasha Banks, sorry.
Oh my God. Delete. There we go.
I'll just go now. It's all right.
1975, Ric Flair was among passengers involved in a plane crash on approach to Wilmington Airport in North Carolina. The plane contained Ric Flair, David Crockett, Bob Brugers, Tim Mr. Wrestling Woods, and Johnny Valentine. Although none of the wrestlers passed away, the pilot Joseph Michael Farkas slipped into a coma and died 2 months after the incident. Rest in peace. That's your history. Notable birthdays: 1985, Candice LeRae. And you see how I do these now. I'm going to leave this one till last. Candice Michelle, 1978. Yokozuna, the great Yokozuna, 1966. John Morrison, 1979. Danny Basham, 1977. Chris Abyss Park, 1973. Bobby Fulton, the great Bobby Fulton, 1961. And Linda McMahon, 1948. And our final one, I did mention Askajiri earlier. Tajiri, 1970. How can you not have a week with Tajiri's birthday and miss showing up on Raw and everything else? How could you not have Tajiri?
Amazing. I love that.
That's your history and your notable birthdays for this week. Let's take a few comments and then we will get out of here. Ian, great pod, fellas. Randy, saying as Trump is buying TikTok from China, get the Dom to buy WWE again, throwing out that free money. Never match that Saudi one. Sasha Banks, I hate that little tube. Oh, God.
All right.
Sean's not a fan of either of them.
No, I hate Tajiri and I hate Danny Basham.
Tajiri, what a fella.
No, I'm kidding.
Tajiri, I met Tajiri up
he
north.
Loves Tajiri.
There was few wrestlers
Tajiri's
better.
amazing.
There was few wrestlers better in the 2000s than Yoshihiro Tajiri. And
Tajiri should be at Comic-Cons charging people to spray mist in them. I'll drop up on Saturday, bro. Absolutely. Catch a Saturday, bro. Anyone else on that before we go? Get out of here. You Avengers, TikTok enforcers, and all that kind of stuff.
Any girls who watch this or watching this, Fight Factory will be having an open day for the whole weekend. So message them on Instagram, and Katie will be in touch then.
That's right.
Yeah, well, Katie,
a great school.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely phenomenal school. Has produced unbelievable talent.
Yeah.
You only have to look at the original rosters and all to see who they produce. Absolutely amazing. Sorry I missed the first 30 minutes. Sean doesn't like anyone.
No, I like everyone. Yeah, I'm fed up with this.
Jerry said the Avon in Bristol out of the Tesco bag. Oh, God, it does go extreme here at times, doesn't it? Well, folks, another brilliant show. Emma, brilliant piece. Keith, all these good suggestions and all. Dave obviously had to jump off. We'll catch up with Dave next week anyway. Sean, great having you back on. Hope the roster worked out for you. Bren, as always, we will be continually talking as we plan these shows. Keep the topics coming, folks, and the slides and all good. Lets me have a little bit of break from looking at PowerPoint all day at times. He likes everyone but hates women's wrestling.
Oh, my Lord.
It's going an extreme on Sean tonight, I tell you. But listen, folks, have a great week. Don't forget, tomorrow night, back Thursday, Tier Talk, final premiership review before the international break. And Friday, we got a bonus show. We're going to be doing a preview for the Chelsea and Liverpool game, and we're going to be doing a watch-along. Dundalk with a chance to seal Division 1 this week, this Friday, if results go their way. So we'll be checking that out as well. As Eno would say, we are over and out. Until next time, folks, have a great week. Talk to you soon. Cheers, folks.
Good night and God bless.
Bye, Sport Women's Wrestling.
Bonsoir.
Love one